Okay, so now that we've created our Photoshop files, we can now import them. So I'm just going to bring them in, and we need to make sure that they are, we bring them in as a composition, retaining layer sizes, and go open, and then say OK to that. And so what we'll get is this, and so that's got our layers, upper, lower, and our background. So the first thing we're going to do is create some guides, and then Command or Control R for rulers, and then I'm just going to put some guides in the middle because it's going to be helpful. And another one there. So then when we bring our type in, we can center it. So I'm just going to zoom in a little bit. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to do Lissa. You choose the right font for you, but I've chosen Musa Standard, and it is condensed medium. If you don't have this font, you can go to Creative Cloud, manage fonts, and then browse more fonts, and then you can find it online, and you just need to activate it. And once you've activated it, then you can use it in any program you like. The next thing I want to do is, this thing's a pivot point, and I just want to make sure that that's centered. So I'm just going to go transform and center pivot point to content. So when I move it, it will kind of center it in the middle. Right, that's the first job. Next thing is that this is, it's 6 seconds long, my sequence, which is probably enough. But if yours is too long, then you can go to composition settings, and you can trim it down here, and so you can change the duration on this bit. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to animate this to go from kind of 0 seconds to 2 seconds, and so I'm going to take the text, I'm going to animate the position, and what I want to do is I want to say at this point I want it to be there. So it puts in a little keyframe there. And then here I'm going to animate it so it goes down. And then it'll come up like that. And it won't look great because it will have kind of hard keyframes, and so it will just stop suddenly. So in order to stop that, I'm just going to grab the keyframe, right click on it, and say Easy Ease. And so now I'll make it a bit more graceful. The other thing is I want to cut this out so it kind of appears from behind this place here. So what I'm going to do is, while selecting the text Melissa, I'm going to grab the rectangle tool and just draw a simple mat here. And this will ensure that I cut out the text as it appears. So all done. The next thing is to just grab the upper and the lower, and I want to animate those into place. So I'm going to press P for position, and that will help me animate their positions. And so I want it to start like this. So keyframe in, so it's put keyframe in for both, and then when I get to 2 seconds, I want to move these a little bit closer. So I'm just going to take one of them first, and then just move it down, and then take the other and move it up just a little bit, and then take those 2 keyframes, and I'm going to ease them both. So now it does that. The only thing is that now our mat doesn't fit, so we need to go back to that and see where the mask is here. We just open that out, and we're going to animate the mask path. So at 1 second I'll see where the mask is. I'm going to move it up a bit, and then when it gets to there, I'm going to move it just so that it kind of fits the animation. There we go, done. The final thing is that there was a little block that kind of moves along with the text a little bit, so I'm going to build that. Fill wise, it needs to be the same color as the text, so that'll do. And I'm just going to draw a small shape, kind of like that. I'm going to go to transform and center the pivot point again, because we want the shape layer to have a center point, and then what we want is we want the shape layer to end up here. So what are we going to do? Well, we're going to take the transform, we're going to put the position, well actually just the scale and the position, so it's to be there, and then over like a second or something we want it to scale to nothing, and then we want it to move down there. So I'm just moving it with the arrow keys so that when it kind of move it again, so when it comes into shape it does that. And then I'm going to take the whole lot, I'm going to ease them. So take these, just ease them, and there we go. So now that's one title done. Once you've finished that title, so I'm going to rename it. So just go to rename, and I'm going to call it GFX1. In order to rename it, it's pretty easy. I'll just duplicate, create the second one, and then grab the text layer, highlight it, rename it to whatever title you want. Make sure you center it, so right click on it, transform, center the pivot point. I got pretty lucky there, and now you'll have the second title, and you can go on and keep doing that.